Hello, my name is Voya and welcome to My Deep Guide. Today we are checking out the update 3.0 on the Remarkable platform. It's finally out of beta, rolling out to customers, so let's check out all of the new stuff that it brings to the table. But before we do that, just one thing. If you do like the work that I do, please consider liking and subscribing to the channel because that really does help boost the channel along. And also, if you do want to help and support the work that I do even further, check out the mydeepguide.com/shop and you can find the My Daily Organizer 2023 there, which is a fully hyperlinked PDF file that's your yearly, quarterly, monthly, weekly, daily organizer with a diary as well, and you can use it for personal, professional use or both. It really doesn't matter, and it's helping a ton of people, so it might help you as well organize your life. If you need and you are interested in more details, you can find the MDO playlist in the description down below, and there you can get more info and see if that's a product for you or not. And now let's check out the Remarkable Update 3.0. Well, alright, here it finally is, the release 3.0. Out of the beta, out of the difficulties that it had during the beta, released to the public, and so far it's going good. And Remarkable is touting it as a huge update, and I guess for them it really is, and it adds some useful things. So let's get through all of these new features of the Remarkable 3.0 and see what it brings to the table. One thing that I really always loved about Remarkable and Remarkable 2 was the responsiveness of the keyboard, and it was fairly correct and really quick and reliable to use. So you could just go update, and I see that now it worked, but previously it didn't, and it's a little bit slower. It seems that the keyboard responsiveness is a little bit slower. That was not what I wanted to show, I just kind of encountered it now. However, this is the first thing that we do have, which is better paper to stay focused. So our notebooks take full advantage of the flexibility of digital paper for taking notes, typing and sketching. Pages can be as long or as short as you need, allowing you to focus and stay uninterrupted as you write longer notes. And then you have a very nice tutorial that actually just says, okay, so you have a new writing experience. We'll go through that as well. In addition to different pen strokes that work with your marker, you can also take notes using typed text. Use the on-screen keyboard to add structure to your handwritten notes in clear typeface and 3-bullet blah blah blah, which is nice. Then you also have the ability to continue typing on the desktop app only if you have a Connect subscription, and we have new gestures, and we also have the infinitely long notes. So we'll demonstrate all of that. Swipe up with your finger to get more space to write, scroll with 2 fingers to basically pan around, and pinch to zoom to actually navigate around your notebook. Browsing the pages, swipe horizontally to turn the page, swipe up to display to get a preview of pages in a document. So that's like that we had from before, and drag the cursor left and right to quickly browse your content. Very useful. And then you also have the switch between files where we can swipe down and we can close the document and swipe with 2 fingers your recent documents. Nothing to do with OS 3, it's just a collection of swipe gestures, and they've added a couple of new gestures, which is double fingered tap is an undo. So if I just do this and then double tap, it's undo, and if I do 3 fingers, then it's a redo. So undo, redo, or it worked, damn it. So undo, redo, redo. Okay, so I guess the thumb was too far off. It needs to be 2 fingers, so 2 fingers to undo, 3 fingers to redo. Okay, that works. Apropos the question, this is the Kindle Scribe pen, works on the Remarkable. The eraser, yep, working fine. What about the button? I don't think that the button is going to work because Remarkable doesn't have native support for that. However, the eraser works, the nib works, so the pen works, and the magnet also no, works, but a bit lower. So you have to attach it a little bit lower and then it's nice and tight. Anywho, back to this one. So this is my notebook, and I'm gonna have some more content down, and we should be able to just swipe up, you know, and we can continue writing here and swipe down and some more down here. All right, and then you can just swipe up and that works. Does it work? The slide here, can you tap? Can you? Oh, no. That did not, he did not like that. So, all right, we can swipe all the way down, and it is basically, I don't think that it's an infinitely expandable one, so there's bound to be a limit, especially because of the system memory. But probably it's going to be able to handle a certain amount of things. Now, the display update, it's not the fast, but the responsiveness is okay. It's a little kind of on the slow side. I don't know if that's just me or I'm just growing accustomed to slightly faster devices, and you know, Remarkable 2 is a bit aging, but it's working okay. So that's something that you have, and then swipe left and right for the pages next that you have. Now this 2 pages, so if I zoom in with a pinch to zoom, okay, that's the pinch to zoom, and now with 2 fingers, I should be able to. Well, I'm not crazy. They said that you should. Oh, whoa, okay. So, how does this work? Do you swipe? Do you tap and hold and drag? All right, the panning gesture. Oof. Okay, there. Now it worked, kind of. So, oh. Now it's okay. It might work, but it might not. It's not the best, and you can zoom out all the way out. All right. How do I reset? Double tap. Yes, I want to add a page and go back. Okay, but how do I reset when I zoom out all the way out? Which is cool to actually see the entirety of the document. Or can I? No, this is a limit. So I still can't zoom out to see the whole thing, and I don't have any controls for the zoom. Maybe there was a gesture to return it to 0 to reset it, but I sure would appreciate an easier, more intuitive option to reset the view, maybe a double tap. Okay, so definitely not with 2 fingers, but maybe a single finger double tap to return it to the native scale of 100%, because right now I don't have any indications where I'm at. Maybe it's this, hopefully, I think it's this. So I guess that's the idea, that you can just kind of get it, which would work if the responsiveness was better, but yeah, not the best for me. However, one thing that does work is you go to the next page and then you go back and it resets the view. Again, maybe something that you want, maybe something that you don't want, but yeah, I don't know. This is going to be useful for some, for me definitely not. Page previews, so we have a bit of a problem, because the page preview is not showing the entirety of the page. So how do you know what you wrote down there? It would be nice if it would actually show at least something, or I don't know. How do you actually solve this problem? I think Remarkable got themselves into a little bit of a pickle design-wise, because that's not a nice problem to try and solve. Let's put it like that. So that's how that works. I'm going to export this and then check out how that actually works so that we can see how it exports. I imagine it's going to be just a long page, but it's a good idea to at least export and try it out. And yeah, as I assumed, the vertically scrolling page is exported as a longer page in a PDF, which makes perfect sense. All right, the next thing that has also been improved is the handwriting conversion on in the notebooks. So if we go to share and convert notes to text, there are several things that have been changed. First of all, we have our progress page, and instantly you should be able to recognize that something is new. So the new thing is that now the handwriting conversion is actually added as a new page, as it actually tells you. So it becomes a text page within your notebook. And furthermore, Remarkable now supports adding and editing of text content within a notebook, and it can combine handwriting and text. So that's why this is actually possible. So now what's really good is that I have my handwriting page, and the next page is this is added as a separate thing. And if I tap on it, I should be able to go here into the text mode, yes, into text, and just continue writing and edit these things. Now for the conversion itself, let me just show you. This is how I wrote. So this is how I normally write. And then I wanted to see, does it recognize bullet points, dashes, and all caps? And then in the final sentence, I wrote it super messy just to see, can it pick anything up? Because this is just really scratchy, kind of a messy thing. So let's see how does it handle. This is going to be my test of the new way that the handwriting text conversion is implemented on the Remarkable. 100% correct, perfect. Bullet point and the dash are recognized at bullet points. Good. Does it recognize bullet points? It recognizes caps, and I think this is my problem. Yeah, I wrote non-caps, so it's actually good at really good at recognizing and differentiating between all caps and regular writing. And the super messy one, and fondly, that should be finally, how it can handle very messy handwriting. Like it only had one problem here, and that was this one here, fondly. So let's change it to finally, and there we go. Finally, again, very responsive keyboard is back. So that's very nice to actually see that it's just in the naming of the notebook it was really slow. Here it's normally back to speed. So how it can handle very messy handwriting. I mean, it only couldn't figure out this one word. Everything else it figured out perfectly. So that's a really cool point. Now, what's really good as well is that all of this can be then converted or exported as a PDF file, and you can work on it onwards. You can type on it like this, just on the virtual keyboard on the Remarkable itself, or if you do have the Connect subscription, then you can continue writing on this one in the app itself. So let's do that. Update tree. There we go. And we get notes here. Okay, so we can combine and we can share and organize notes, capture ideas or sort them. Okay, yeah, okay, and that's that. Cool. So here we have our page. First of all, yeah, we can zoom in and out normally. That's good. Can we go back to the previous page? Yep. How does that look like? Good. This is basically if you want to start typing. So you can actually just click anywhere, choose your font that you want or a bullet point. So let's say, let's add a title, maybe. This is my typed title. And here we're gonna have, I don't know, something like a bullet point and, oh, it's a different one, okay. This is my bullet point, which is super tiny. All right. And does this automatically synchronize? So if I exit this, pages, okay, my files. So now that's gonna synchronize. I guess I would have to exit, let it sync, right? Go back to update tree. Okay, and we should, yeah, then we have this, and then theoretically you should be able to continue typing over here, and it's the same unified user experience with writing formats. Okay, cool. So this is my second point. At this point, it becomes painfully obvious that for this functionality, it would have been so nice if Remarkable 2 was equipped with a Bluetooth, so that you can just simply hook up a hardware Bluetooth keyboard like you can on the Supernote, on the Books devices, on majority of other devices, but unfortunately you cannot. However, you do have that other option of doing it on the desktop app, and soon to come, I guess they say soon to come in 2023, on the mobile app as well. So that's the new functionality that they have. I think it's definitely useful. The things that I really do like is that finally the handwriting conversion is part of a notebook. I don't know if I'm an absolute fan that it's an inserted page here. Maybe that should be like a different way of handling things and checking your handwritten conversion pages and versus this one, or maybe an ability to kind of switch between two modes. But I think all of those ideas are far too complex for the Remarkable as an idea and as a platform, and this is what you get. For me personally, I love that it's that the handwriting conversion and the edits are now contained within the device. I think that it finally kind of increases the usability of that function. However, that the whole point of inserting a page, I find it a bit disruptive, that I like my pages to be organized and then to have handwriting and then conversion, handwriting and then conversion, handwriting and then conversion. It's a bit of a mix and match. I would much rather have handwriting on one layer and conversion on another, figuratively speaking, layer. So, but overall, I think it works really good. The ability to edit things from the desktop app, certainly useful. That's really good. They are touting it as like this huge new thing. I don't really see it as a ginormous huge thing, but all right, that's how they see it, and that's their right to kind of market it any way they want. But it works. So basically, what they implemented, it works for the most part, and I think that for the biggest part, it's an improvement overall, and definitely over how it used to function, because you can also now send this as an email, PDF, or whatever it may be, and that's really cool. Oh, and one thing that's also really cool is that this text should be searchable now. At least they say that it's searchable. So if I go like this, let's see, what kind of text do we have here? Let's try and find a word. Bullet points. All right, let's try and search for bullet points and search my files. But can I search something else? But they say that you can search the notebooks. I don't know how. Let's see. No. Ah, in the notebook. Okay. So you go here and then you search, and then you should be able to go bullet, and there we go. That's first, next. Cool. So it works. Cool. It would be nice if they could actually expand this functionality to be system-wide as well, because it would make sense that you can switch between search my file, search my notebooks, right? And then when you just type in here, it shows you in all of the notebooks where you're referencing a certain type of a term. Definitely something that I think a lot of people would kind of have use for sure. And a really cool thing about this as well is that because the handwriting conversion is now contained in a notebook, you can theoretically do handwriting search as long as it's being converted, because it will not find you that page, but it will find this page, and then you just know that you can just swipe back and find it there. So it is a kind of a backwards way of doing it things, but technically speaking, you do have, for the first time ever, the ability to do handwriting search, but you have to go into the notebook, and then search the notebook itself. I hope that at some point, as I said, they expand that system-wide so that you can search the notebooks from the system as well. Another thing that they have added is that we can now finally have a proper landscape view. My goodness, it's 2023 and the Remarkable platform finally gets a proper landscape format, not just to call a landscape format of moving the toolbar to the landscape, but actually moving the content around and doing all of this. So that's actually pretty cool. Now, how is this working as a page flip? So let's see, how does it work? So this is a long page, okay? And if I flip a page, it goes to the next page, to the next page, to the next page. Okay, so let's check this out on the documents as well before I go into this. And what happens when I exit from a there's no landscape system format. All right, fine. And this is a smaller document, which would definitely be beneficial or have benefits from basically switching to a landscape view. So if I go to landscape view, we do have adjust view, and we can fit to width or height or use current view, which is really cool. Again, first time that we have this proper-ish kind of control over documents. So somebody's finally thinking about formatting documents on Remarkable. And let's see, fit to width, nice. This is properly nice, cool. Finally, it's becoming more usable as a reader. All right, and then you can swipe down. Now, I'm pretty sure that it's, oh, what's that? Oh, that's their final thing that you can zoom out and see. Yeah, that was the big one that they added, that you can see outside of the page. I have absolutely no idea why. Like, what do you need that for? Please let me know in the comments down below why would you want that, especially because you can so easily get lost, because it's not like what's going on here. Make module, switch, and then all the way down here. All right, but the whole point for me is I would like to know what happens with the page when I flip. It just goes to the next page and uses the same thing. All right, so the things that I would have liked to have seen in a landscape format, especially when you do fit to width, is that your landscape next page gesture slides the page down until it hits the page break, and then the next, once the page break is in the view and visible, then the next page flips the next page and goes back to the top. That way you can actually read the document without the need of doing this, and especially with a combination of this outside margins, which are really puzzling for me, why they would be there, but they are there. Then you would have the ability to actually use the documents a bit further, but that's what they've added here. So you have the custom scaling to the documents. We have finally some adjust view kind of options, and I guess we can reset. No, why not reset here? I mean, this is how it's supposed to be. It's weird. It's really weird. I don't know. I'm really not a fan of what they've done here, because it makes reading really difficult. I mean, what am I supposed to do here? Oh, this is where I use two fingers. Ah, okay, then it works. Okay, maybe that's how somebody prefers it at Remarkable, and they think that this is how this should work. But to me, this is distracting. This is not practical, and they should definitely take a long, hard look at how the Supernote has implemented these functionalities and learn from them, and basically just implement it in that way here, so that it finally works properly for documents as well, and that they have a proper formatting thing, because this whole thing is just a mess. Well, okay, update 3.0 finally is out there. I think that the significant amount of people, like enough people, will enjoy the vertically scrolling pages for it to justify it being a thing that's been added. I personally don't. I have no use for it, and I don't like how it's being implemented, especially because you can't preview the page and all of these things. But of course, it's great that there's an option that can actually satisfy the needs of others. So that's a great thing to see. I really do like the handwriting conversion update that's been done, how it works. I'm not a complete fan of the insertion of the notebook page of the conversion, as I already mentioned, so I'm not going to repeat myself there. So you know how I feel about that. But overall, I would characterize that the handwriting conversion would be like a B or something like that. So it's a really, really good effort. Could be improved a bit more, but it's a good, definitely a good direction, and very, very usable, especially because it's now searchable. And technically speaking, you get searchable notebooks on Remarkable, especially if they add the system-wide search that you can search notebooks as well. That will be pretty cool. As for typing text, it's like, okay, I mean, it's 2023 and we're supposed to be excited about the device being able to type text. I mean, really, I'm sorry, but I can't get excited about something like that because it's so basic that it's beyond like it's a little bit silly. But it's definitely useful. But it's not something that you should be like, we can now type text in 2023 on our device. It's like, wow, amazing. But definitely a useful addition to the platform. Now, what I really don't like is what they've done with that whole scaling mess. I think that that's currently like a complete mess, and I have no idea why would you do that in the first place. Like, what's the point? Especially the way that it's being implemented, that you don't have first of all, you don't have an option to lock it. Like, that would be the number one thing, that you would have to give people an option to lock it so that you don't have accidental scaling all over the place. So lock the scale that a user wants, and then you can just navigate with two fingers and swipe around, and it's so basic. But we don't have that. So instead, it's all over the place. And yeah, there's a bunch of things, but we do have a landscape format, so that's a move in a slightly better direction after 5.5 years. So we have that kind of thing. So maybe by 2028, maybe we will have a decent reader experience on the Remarkable 2. So this definitely gives me hope that maybe before I hit 50, that I'm going to see a decent reader experience on the Remarkable platform. Overall, an okay update. Was it worth the wait and things like that? For the handwriting recognition, I would say so. Definitely, yeah. And that texting, even though I make fun of it because it is genuinely funny, joking aside, it is a useful thing to have, and I also see a lot of users actually benefiting from that functionality, and it's a nice thing to have as an addition for this productivity tool. I hope you liked the video. If you did, please like and subscribe, and ding the notification bell in the description down below to get notified when new videos come out on My Deep Guide. Also, let me know in the comments What do you think about the update? How it's working for you? What do you like most of the features that were added? What do you dislike most of the features that they've added? How you would like to see them improved on, or things like that. So constructive criticism is something that I am definitely interested in to hearing, because that's something that's actually beneficial to the other users and definitely developers if they are watching, listening, and things like that. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy, and see you in the next video. Bye!